Hello friends, I am Dr Ritesh Agarwal, Faculty of Management from Khandelwal College, KCMT, Bareilly. Today I am going to discuss a very important topic, that is accounting mechanics. What is the meaning of accounting? What is double entry system? What are the rules of debit and credit? This presentation helps you in understanding the basic terms of accounting. What is the definition of accounting? Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing the transactions and events in a significant manner, having a monetary and financial aspect, and interpreting and communicating the results thereof. फ्रेंड्स, इसका मतलब अकाउंटिंग एक आर्ट है जिसमें हम बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्शंस और इवेंट्स को रिकॉर्ड करते हैं, उनको क्लासिफाई करते हैं, उनको समराइज करते हैं, वो ट्रांजैक्शंस और इवेंट्स जिनको हम मॉनेटरी और फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट में एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं, और उसके बाद हम उसके रिज़ल्ट को इंटरप्रेट करते हैं और उसको हम कम्युनिकेट करते हैं. नाउ व्हाट इज़ द अकाउंटिंग साइकिल? We can see there are certain sequential items which we have to show in accounting cycle. First, there is a business transaction. There should be a business transaction. The transaction is recorded in document which is called voucher, which is called received. Thereafter, the accountant is required to analyze the transaction, at which location it will go. For this, we need to record it in the form of an entry in journal or in subsidiary books. Then we have to show this transaction in ledger accounts. After ledger accounts, we have to prepare a trial balance, and with the help of trial balance हमें एक बैलेंस शीट, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट और कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट तैयार करना पड़ता है. दिस इज़ द अकाउंटिंग साइकिल. What is accounting equivalence? It means we are talking about accounting equation, because accounting is based on double entry system. It means there must be at least two aspects of each and every transaction. Assets equal to owner's equity plus outside liabilities. Owner's equity is also called capital. इसको हम आगे की स्लाइड में थोड़ा डिटेल में जो वो डिस्कस करते हैं. फर्स्ट वी शुड नो what is the meaning of double entry system. Double entry system means every transaction is recorded by equal amounts of debit and credits. Because accounting is based on double entry system, debit means debitors and credit means creditors. Assets are always debit, equity and liabilities are always credit. Therefore, debit must be equal to credit. Now, if we talk about accountant's life, assets equal to equity plus liabilities. If there is an increase for asset, it should be debit, green sign plus up sign plus, and if there is a decrease for asset, it should be credit, it should be minus. If we talk about liabilities, if there is a increase, it should be credit, but if there is a decrease, it should be debit. For equity, the same. If there is an increase, it should be credit, but if there is a decrease, it should be debit. Through the graphics, you can see it. Now the question is, what are the assets? Asset means some resources which is owned by any business organization for either for using in production activities or selling activities or distribution activities. Future economic value. It may be tangible asset, it may be intangible assets. Tangible assets may be land, building, इक्विपमेंट, मशीन्स, फर्नीचर हो सकते हैं, और इंटेंजिबल जो अदृश्य हैं, गुडविल, पेटेंट, ट्रेडमार्क और कॉपीराइट के रूप में हो सकते हैं. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट इज लायबिलिटी? लायबिलिटी मीन्स समथिंग ओड बाय द कंपनी, यानी जिसके लिए हमें कुछ भुगतान करना होगा. इट मे बी in the form of loan, it may be in the form of debenture, it may be in the form of creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses. What are the revenues? Revenues are those from which we earn income by providing services to our customer, clients or selling of goods or products. It may be in the form of sale, it may be in the form of revenue from performance of services, it may be in the form of letting out the properties and that is rent received, it may be lending the money to the borrowers in the form of interest. What are the expenses? Expenses may be some liabilities, some obligations which we have to pay in order to avail some services. It may be in the form of salaries and wages for our employees and workers, for hiring some services, utilities, payment of rent, lighting, auditing, etc., supplies used, advertising, for which we have to pay the amount. These are called expenses. Now, what is the owner's equity? Owner's equity means the amount invested by the owner in the business. यानी जो proprietor अपनी capital business में invest करता है, that is called owner's equity. और we can say what is the left, यानी assets में से अगर हम अपनी liabilities घटा दें, for example if any business के पास में कोई 2 लाख की assets हैं और 50,000 की अगर liabilities हैं, तो we can say उसकी जो capital है वो 1.5 लाख रुपए है, 1,50,000, यानी it is called owner's claim on the entity's assets. So from this graphic we can see the transactions that affect the owner's equity. If we earn revenues, if we brings the capital, that increases the owner's equity, but if we withdraw the funds from the business for personal use or some expenses, then owner's equity decreases. Effect of transaction on owner's equity. So you can see owner's equity decreased by owner's withdrawal and expenses, and owner's equity increased by owner's investment and revenues. अगर ओनर प्रोप्राइटर पर्सनल यूज़ के लिए कुछ पैसा विड्रॉ करता है या एक्सपेंसेस का पेमेंट करता है तो इक्विटी डिक्रीज होती है, लेकिन अगर वो कैपिटल लेके आता है या रेवेन्यूज़ अर्न करता है तो उससे उसकी कैपिटल बढ़ती है. नाउ अगेन वी आर फोकसिंग on the accounting equation. As we can see, assets equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. Asset means resources used in any business. It may be in the form of tangible or intangible assets, while liabilities or sources, these resources supplied by creditors and owners, जो जिनके द्वारा सप्लाई किए जाते हैं जो है वो ये इन रिसोर्सेज को, दे आर कॉल्ड लाइबिलिटीज, दे आर कॉल्ड ओनर्स फंड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम अकाउंटिंग इक्वेशंस को कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स के थ्रू समझ सकते हैं. इफ सचिन एज ए प्रोपराइटर डिपॉजिट्स ₹25,000 इन ए बैंक अकाउंट फॉर ABC लिमिटेड, तो व्हाट इज द इफेक्ट ऑन अकाउंटिंग इक्वेशन? First, he will deposit ₹25,000 cash. Cash is a asset. It will increase by ₹25,000. And as the Sachin is proprietor, owner, so therefore owner's equity will also increase 25,000. So we can say the transaction is balanced. Accounting equation holds true. Next example, if a company ABC Limited buys the land for ₹20,000, land is an asset. Cash is also an asset. If we see the effect, cash will be paid. It means cash will be down by ₹20,000, but land will be bought. It will be increased by ₹20,000. Therefore, there is no effect of asset. One asset is going, one asset is coming. It means accounting equation holds true. We can take the next example. Suppose ABC Limited buys the goods for ₹1,350, agreeing to pay the supplier in the near future. What comes in? It should be asset. It means we are buying the goods 1,350. It means assets, and for which we have to make the payment in future. It means we are creating a liability. Again, accounting equation holds true, यानी assets equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. Take next example. ABC Limited paid certain expenses, wages, rent, utilities and miscellaneous expenses. These are the expenses. They are paid in the form of cash. Cash is an example of asset. Therefore, asset will be down by rupees 3650, and expenses reduces the owner's equity. Again, the owner's equity will be down by 3650. So again, the accounting equation holds true. Suppose ABC Limited pays rupees 950 to creditors on account. Payment to creditor means discharge of liability. Liability will be down. Cash will be paid. The asset will be down. So we can see the effect. Cash will be down by rupees 950, and liabilities, any accounts payable, will be down by rupees 950. Now the last transaction, if Sachin withdraws rupees 2000 in cash, that is called drawings. Cash will be down by rupees 2000, any asset will be down by rupees 2000, and owner's equity, because he withdraws rupees 2000, it will also down by rupees 2000. So these are the certain examples. Now I think the concept of accounting equation is clear to everyone. Now we are talking about double entry system. As we have discussed earlier, the double entry system is based on the principle that every transaction involves two aspects, two entries. They must be made in the accounts: a debit entry showing goods or values coming into the business, and a corresponding credit entry. And for every transaction, there must be an equal amount of debit and there must be an equal amount of credit. For this, we have to classify the accounts. Accounts may be classified into three categories. Number one, personal account. These accounts record a business dealing with the persons of firm. These accounts may be real. These accounts may be artificial also. The person receiving something is given debit and the person giving something should be credit. रियल अकाउंट, दीज आर द अकाउंट्स ऑफ एसेट्स जो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे रिसोर्सेज को शो करते हैं. लैंड, बिल्डिंग, प्लांट्स, मशीन, गुडविल, पेटेंट, ट्रेडमार्क. If the assets are entering into the business, it is given debit, and if the assets leaving the business, it is given credit. And the third one is nominal account. These accounts deal with the expenses, losses, incomes, profit and gains. Accounts of expenses and losses are debited and accounts of incomes and gains are credited. So these are the principles of double entry system. These are also called golden rule of debit and credit. If we take the example of personal account, debit receiver, credit giver. If we take the example of real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And if we take the example of nominal account, debit expenses and losses, credit incomes and gains. So with this, I am thankful to you. These are the some accounting mechanics. In the next presentation tutorial, I will discuss how we can pass the journal entry, how we can show it in the ledger accounts, and how we can prepare trial balance. So friends, thank you very much.